My name is Amelia, and I was 31 when my whole world tilted on its axis. I'm a single mom, a middle school history teacher in Portland, Oregon, raising my son Leo on my own. His father left when we found out about Leo's rare genetic heart condition. Can't handle a sick kid, he said. It's been 5 years since, and every day has been a fight. The battle hit its breaking point when the specialist gave us the news. The conventional treatments weren't working. We needed an experimental procedure that would cost $110,000. Leo, my sweet 7-year-old boy, whose greatest joy was reading about ancient civilizations, had 6 months to live without it. The medical bills were a silent, mocking testament to my failed efforts. I went to my parents, hoping for a lifeline. They live in a lavish home 30 minutes away, the same house where my younger sister Clara, a successful architect, still has a pristine guest room. They listened to me plead my case, the quote for the treatment laid out on their antique mahogany table. "We just don't have that kind of money, Amelia," my father said, his face a mask of regret that didn't quite reach his eyes. "We've already done so much." My mother chimed in. "Honey, we can't empty our retirement funds. We paid for 3 of his surgeries. There are financing options." They spoke of my financial struggles as if they were a personal failing, not the consequence of a broken system and years of non-stop care for a sick child. I had tried every other option. They were my last hope, but they turned me away, choosing their comfortable future over their grandson's life. 2 weeks later, the phone call came from Clara. "Amelia, you won't believe it. Marcus proposed and Mom and Dad are paying for the whole wedding. No budget limits." I listened, a growing sense of dread and disbelief in my gut. A destination wedding in a Spanish villa, a no-expense-spared celebration for a whole weekend. Leo's condition worsened. We were told he had 3 months left. I started a crowdfunding campaign, pouring my heart into it, but it stalled at $15,000. It wasn't even a drop in the ocean. Meanwhile, Clara's wedding plans became a monstrous, all-consuming entity. My parents were obsessed, attending tastings, flying to Spain for venue tours, their lives revolving around floral arrangements that cost more than my annual salary. The emotional knife twisted deeper when my mother called one evening. "Amelia, darling, Clara wants you to be a bridesmaid, but the dress is $500. We need you to order it soon." $500. 2 weeks worth of Leo's medication. "I can't afford it, Mom," I said, the words catching in my throat. Her voice hardened. "Amelia, this is your sister's special day. Life goes on for the rest of us." Leo died on a Tuesday morning. He went peacefully, holding my hand. The grief was a physical weight, a suffocating blanket. I called my parents to tell them. My mother's first words were, "Oh, Amelia, no! What terrible timing!" The wedding was on Sunday, and the funeral would interfere with their rehearsal dinner. They even asked me to change the funeral date. "It would be so much more convenient for everyone," my father explained. I buried my son with money I borrowed from my principal, a man who showed more compassion than my own family. My parents arrived late to the small service and left early for the rehearsal dinner. Clara never showed. She was too busy with a last-minute crisis over the string quartet. The day of the wedding, I received texts and photos from the group chat my mother had created. My father, beaming in a tux. My mother, elegant, in a dress that cost more than my rent. Clara, a vision in a designer gown. The final cost of the wedding was $280,000, 3 times the amount that could have saved Leo's life. The number echoed in my mind like a scream, and something inside me turned to stone. I looked at a photo of my parents dancing, their heads thrown back in laughter. The caption read, "The best day ever." I felt a cold, patient clarity settle over me. This wasn't over. They had made their choice. Now I would make mine. 4 years passed. I rebuilt my life, earning a master's degree and becoming a respected school principal. I meticulously documented everything, gathering evidence of their choices. Then I received a message from my aunt. My father's company had collapsed, and their retirement savings were gone. The house, their symbol of security, was in foreclosure. A week later, my parents were at my door, diminished and desperate. "We've made mistakes, Amelia, but we're family. We need help." They asked for $120,000 to save their house. I closed the door on them with a chilling smile. I let them sweat for 2 weeks before I called them back. "I'll help you," I told them, "but we need to have a conversation." On a cold Saturday, they came to my apartment, a trio of desperation. I laid out the documents on my coffee table, the wedding receipts, the hospital bills, and a photo of Leo in his final days. "You asked me for help when I was desperate. You said you couldn't afford it. Then you spent over $250,000 on a party. You chose a wedding over your grandson's life. I want you to say it." My mother cried, my father's face was a study of shame, and Clara seethed with rage. They needed the money, and so they said the words, admitting their choice. I then gave them the check for $120,000, along with a document stating that they would never contact me again. "Take the money and leave," I said, opening the door. "This is the last time you will ever see me." But the story doesn't end there. As they drove away with their reprieve, I called my Aunt Teresa. "I've attached a letter for you," I said. "It tells the whole truth. Please share it with everyone." I didn't just give them the money to keep their house. I gave it to them with the full knowledge that they would lose something far more valuable: their reputation, their friends, and their comfortable social standing. The letter, with all the damning evidence, spread like wildfire. The town knew, the country club knew. Their carefully constructed lives were in tatters, a public scandal. They kept their home, but it became a gilded cage of their own making. My parents and Clara moved away, unable to bear the social exile. I even heard my mother told people I had died. It was easier than explaining the truth. And in a way, she was right. The woman they knew, the one who would accept scraps and swallow her pain, was gone. She died the same day her son did, replaced by a woman who understood that true peace isn't found in revenge, but in justice served on your own terms. I moved forward, a new person, finally at peace. And for the first time in years, I felt like I was living again. This story is a painful reminder that not all family is blood. If you believe in standing up for yourself and getting the justice you deserve, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching.